Hi, this is Melissa with A Creative Journey with Melissa, and today I want to show you how to create this awesome card holder. It's super simple, super easy, and you can probably do it with stuff that you have at your house. I will say that you can use 12 by 12 paper. I used some paper that I actually got at a yard sale, and of course I love to do that thrifty stuff, so that's why I'm using this. The paper that I used is 12¼ inches, so it's a little bit bigger than 12½. I'm sorry, it's a little bit bigger than 12 inches. But if you want to use 12 inches, you could also do that and just accommodate accordingly. So all we're going to do is do this super simple creation. A lot of people have asked me, what do you do with all your cards that you make? You know, blah, blah, blah. Where do you put them? How do you store them? Etc., etc., etc. Well, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You could just make a very simple filing system in a box. I bought this box right here at IKEA. It's a huge box. I'll show you this here. It's a huge box. It's huge. I mean, like huge, 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 huge. Here, this is a better way to show you, but it's still huge. And that's the lid to show you how big it is. So I have these boxes here that I use, and you can decorate them. They're pretty cool. They're like made of craft cardstock, so it's pretty cool. Or you can just use a regular photo box. I'm sure there'll be tons of sales at Michael's or Walmart or Joann's or any of your stores that you happen to shop at, and just get a regular photo box, and you can use that for your cards so that you can store them, and that way you'll have them organized and be able to pull from your inventory and utilize the fantastic creations you've used. Yes, I'm really talking to myself. At any rate, I do store mine. Unfortunately, I have 3 or 4 different boxes and 3 or 4 different categories, so this is actually motivating me to do this myself. So I'm actually kind of talking to myself throughout this whole video, and you get to enjoy it. Woohoo! Anyway, also I wanted to say Happy New Year. Hope you had a fantastic holiday and hope you have a great new year, and I hope 2018 is everything and so much more than you ever imagined. So that's what I'm hoping for you, and I'm going to get started. So this is pretty simple. All you'll need is a stamp block, you'll need some ink, and you'll need your stamps, and you'll need your paper, and a trimmer, preferably with a scoring board, or sorry, a scoring blade. If you don't have a scoring blade and you happen to have a scoring board, you can use that as well. Or if you have a trimmer like this, you can always use your scorer. I don't know if you know this or not, but you can use your little scoring blade and put your paper right in here, and you can score it with your scoring blade right down like so. So just like that. So here, I'll show you what I mean. You can just put your paper in and then put your paper on top. I'm just going to use a little piece of scrap paper here, just like so, and you would leave it open, whoops, as I drop my little scoring blade thing here. It's not a scoring blade actually as much as it's something from a scoring board, and then all you would do is just go right along the lines carefully and just score it yourself. So you may already have a scoring situation that you're not even aware of. Stampin' Up! Is this trimmer is awesome, and you can buy scoring blades with this, and I happen to have one in here. It came with both, so that was pretty cool. But if you do have just a regular ABC trimmer and you don't have the scoring blade, you can use this, or you can use a blunt, like a poker tool, but it has to be blunt. Otherwise, you'll poke right through it, which would be bad. So I'm just going to show you really quick how fast and how easy it was that I just did that. And we're going to just fold this in half. And that's how easy we scored it, just like that. So simple, right? Gotta love that scratch paper right by my videos, right? I do that on purpose. Why? Because I make a lot of mistakes, so I have to grab a little bit more paper. Anyway, so to get started, I'm going to put this stuff away. We're not going to do our stamping yet. We're going to score our paper. And we're going to end up using this awesome stamp set as well as a phenomenal alphabet set. I am going to show you that in a minute, but this has a lot of different subjects, which is one of the reasons why I love the stamp set, is because I like it to be versatile. So you have with sympathy, you have happy anniversary, you have celebrate, thank you, congratulations, proud of you, happy birthday, wedding, all kinds of different things, thinking of you. So you can really utilize this stamp set to do your labeling for your filing system. So I'm going to show you that in a second. Super duper simple. But with that, So what I have here is I have the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, and I don't know if you are aware, but basically everybody's trimmer, even if it's not Stampin' Up!, has this little bar that comes out, okay? If you look underneath your trimmer, it will have a little bar that comes out, and this cool thing here actually has a place where you can put blades. So it's pretty amazing, I have to say. I don't have any extra blades here because I haven't purchased them yet because I haven't needed them yet, so that's good news too. But if you want to, you can just utilize this arm here, and it goes all the way out to 14 and I think 3/4 inches. I'm not sure exactly where that ends, but at least 14 inches, which is, for a scrapbooker like myself, that's wonderful because I always end up buying trimmers that are right at 12 inches, and that doesn't do me any good because my paper is always bigger than that with the label on it. So with that said, I'm going to show you right here. So the paper that I used here, I'm going to scoot this down just to show you really quick too. This here, this is the trimmer, it's the darker gray, and this here is the scoring blade, and that's a lighter gray, okay? Just so you know which ones, what the difference is and why the colors are different. So I have 2 pieces of paper here. I'm just going to put one aside. So I want to show you right here, this paper right here that I used is 12 1/4 inches, okay? So 12 1/4 inches is how long the paper is that I used. So if you end up using 12 by 12, just take 1/4 inch off of everything that I've done. If you end up using 11 inches, you'll take 1 1/4 inches, etc., etc. So just take off the amount that I'm telling you by whatever adjustment you need to make for the paper that you're using, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Anyway, so with that, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this beautiful little piece of paper that, again, I got at a garage sale, and I was so excited. I got a stack like this for like, I mean, seriously, it's like this big, and I think it's, I want to say it's like 8 by 18 or 16. It's ridiculously long, and I love it. And it's a little bit cardstocky, so it's strong enough, but not too strong to where it's hard to fold, so I just love it. I was very excited. It was a great find. So if you are ever, if you're like my husband and I, on Saturdays, we like to kind of regroup and talk about our week and maybe what things we need to work on or need to focus on or what we want to budget for, etc., etc. And we go to estate sales and garage sales on Saturday mornings. So we get our coffee and we drive around and enjoy each other's company, and it's a lot of fun. So whether that's your thing or something else, that's what we do. And just a little suggestion, you can find some really great buys and some really great deals, and I enjoy spending time with my awesome husband. And that is the extra perk that we have with that. Anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take this paper and, oops, I have some more papers already scored, but I'm going to just show you one real quick. And what I did here is I took this paper and I went to 5 3/4, and this right here is 5 3/4, okay? And I just simply took, oops, this cute little scoring blade, and I'm just going to push it along once and push it along again. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just make sure it's all flush with this, because you don't want to be scoring it and have it crooked. That kind of defeats the purpose. That would be a bummer. So if you can see that scoring area right there, that's probably a good view of it. You can see right there. So now all you have to do is just fold it. So we're just going to fold it like so. And make sure it lines up on the edge. It should line up on the edge, but sometimes it gets a little bit, as my father-in-law used to say, cattywampus is an awesome word that he used. Still makes me giggle a little bit. And then I use my finger to press really hard, or of course you can use a scoring blade and score that really super duper hard as well, if I could find it, but I can't, so I won't. Anyway, you can just score it simply by using your finger and do that. And that's one of them. And I have a few more here that are already done, so you didn't have to sit through that. So I'm going to fold these super duper quick. And fold along the line, just like that. Okay? And I think I have, is this one more? Maybe not. I think I had at least 2. Yeah, I've got 2. So that's what we're going to use. Okay? So we can set our scorer / trimmer aside. I will have a link here in the stuff, in the blog post if you want to get some Stampin' Up! Products. My awesome friend Brandy, she is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, And although she's not working with us anymore, she's gone on to venture with Stampin' Up. She is awesomely supportive and, of course, awesomely great, and her customer service is unbelievably awesome. So if you have anything that you want to order through Stampin' Up, they have phenomenal dies. I love them. As many times as I can, I try to get some. My husband tends to say, no. But anyway, you know, you have the budget thing. Can't spend money you don't have, all that fun stuff, right? So they say anyway. So this here is what we have as far as our little file folders. Okay. Now, the reason why instead of just using just like an index card where you would cut this, I use a folder so it holds all the cards together. I think it makes it a little bit neater and easier to say if you want to grab your birthday cards, you can just grab that whole section and pull them out and look at them. So that, to me, makes it a lot easier, and that's why I use it this way. You're always, of course, welcome to do whatever you wish. Whatever variation of this, hopefully I've inspired you to try to get a little bit organized for the new year. And it's super simple, like I said, and super inexpensive, so that's great. You can even, if you wanted to, you could use cardstock, just printer paper cardstock if you wanted to. And instead of folding it a huge amount right here, you could just fold it smaller so it would still hold your cards, but that way you don't have to purchase new paper, okay? So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna pull out my ink and my stamp block, and of course my stamps, which would always be very helpful. Now, I already have a few of these done, but what I want to do is I want to make some new ones. I have the congratulations done, and I have happy birthday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, let's see, what should I do here? With my stamp set, oh, and also if you notice, like some of mine are stained, that's just because I used an ink that's a little bit more permanent than others. And other times, especially with the happy birthday, I forget to clean it off. So this does not affect the integrity of the image at all. As a matter of fact, if you look at this here and this here, this looks very much similar to this, and one stain, one is not, just so you know. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do, let's see, I think I want to do, let's do anniversary for one, and then with sympathy. So you can see the difference between the two, that one is stained, one is not, and they still both stamp just fine. So that'll be good for you. Now all I do is just place our little image right here, I'm sorry, our sentiment, whoops, right here like so. I'm just placing it on willy-nilly, if you will. I don't need to have it specifically straight or anything because I'm going to be placing it right here and lining it up to the paper right here. So I don't need to worry about whether it's straight or not because it's already giving me a little bit of a line to measure up by. Okay? So all you do is you just take your image or your sentiment. You're going to ink it like so. You just, here's the sentiment. And then you're just going to ink it. I usually do it 3 times. I don't know if it's my OCD or what, but maybe 4 or 5. Okay, so then we just do with sympathy. So I'm just going to place that right there like so. And that is how it looks. And as you can see, this is a stained stamp, okay? So it doesn't affect the integrity of the image at all. It's perfectly fine. All right? So we've got that one done. Oops, I still need my ink for the next one. Okay, let me clean off my stamp. The other thing I want to tell you too, if you haven't watched my videos before, to clean my stamps, I use this Stampin' Scrubber and I use this stamping mist. I've used this for as long as I can remember. I love it. It's very, very, very helpful to me, and I use it on all my clear stamps and rubber stamps too. So it's very helpful and effective. The one thing I do also do is right here I wrote dry. I don't know if you can see it, so I'm going to show you a little bit closer. Right there with permanent marker I wrote dry. It's actually a silver Sharpie, so that I know that's the dry side, and then obviously this is the wet side. It used to say wet right here, but it's worn off. So as long as dry is there, I'm good. So that way I know which side I should wet and which side I should use to dry off, so I don't get them confused and redirtied, if that's even a word, redirtied. Huh, I think I just made that up. Okay, so we have with sympathy. Now, I clean that stamp off. I'm going to put it back on. That's the other thing too, if you're not aware, your stamps come with this sheet. So I just place them back in my sheet, and then I have them in an envelope, just a simple plain envelope, nothing fancy. I had extras of these as well. I had gotten these from a friend of mine that didn't need them anymore. So I use these to hold all my stamps, and I put them in alphabetical order. So that helps me. There's a lot of different ways you can store your stamps. This is the way that I do. It seems to be most effective and helpful for me. So now we're going to do anniversary. So we're going to stamp our anniversary right here. So we're just going to use this ink like so. Ink it a few times. Well, that's a little squeaky noise I could go without. And then we're just going to stamp it right here, like so. And that is anniversary. So as you can see, this is a pretty simple project. You could make a few of them if you have friends of yours that you've made cards for. Like maybe you made a bunch of cards for them to use for the year as a gift. You can also do that. You can do that for a gift for their birthday, etc., etc. But this is just a jumping off point for you to start getting organized and make sure that you utilize all those beautiful creations that you've made. And I know that someone will really appreciate getting those from you. So with that, I want to let you know that we're going to be giving away this awesome stamp set right here. And this is Sentiments for All Occasions. And it really is for all occasions. I have to tell you, I have yet to find a stamp set that, even though it is my own that I've created, I've yet to find a stamp set that I don't thoroughly enjoy using as much as that one, because it does really cover just about everything. I'm also going to be giving away this stamp set right here. With that, this is just in case there may be a few things here that are not on the list and you want to create your own little labels. You could do this as well. So you're going to get one of these or one of these. So there's 2 giveaways this week. So I hope you have a very fantastic Happy New Year, and I really appreciate you joining us today, and I hope that you have a fantastic day, and make sure that you take some time, be creative, enjoy your family, tell your loved ones you love them, and thank you for going on a creative journey with Melissa. Have a fantastic day. Thanks. Bye-bye.